Is this a swing high for the euro, or will we see the euro USD mitigate that imbalance around 117.50? That's what I'm answering in today's video. I'll show you a structure shift that occurred on the lower time frames, but why you have to be careful with that. So my name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So let's look at the euro USD here on the 4-hour time frame. So obviously we have had a lot of volatility so far today on Monday. Market's not wasting any time getting into this week. You can see here that this 4-hour candle right here, obviously a lot of news around the war that's happening. This right here, this candle, I mean, from the low to the high, this happened within literally minutes, 133 pips or thereabouts within minutes. So just a lot of volatility here so far on Monday. And this is really kind of par for the course, what we've seen from these markets over the past few weeks. So the question right now for the euro, looking at this chart here, you can see obviously, we have a downtrend in place. Okay, now we have this BOS, this breakup structure here below the low, giving us this external high up here. Now, what I said over the weekend too is that we do have this massive imbalance from the euro, basically from this open gap all the way up here above 118, all the way down here to this high. This entire region up here is just one big imbalance here for the euro. So there still is that chance that we see the euro come back here and mitigate this imbalance above 117. However, at the same time, you can see where again we are within this channel, also below this external high up here. Okay, so as long as this is the case, and you can see where the euro is trading within this channel here, and again, kind of bumping its head on this level here today on Monday, we do have the chance for a continuation of this trend. Now, with that said, though, the key word there is we have a chance, okay? I don't trade chances, I trade probable scenarios, and right now, this, in my opinion, is not probable that we are going to get that continuation of the trend. Because a retest like this, especially in these kind of conditions, is not enough for me to pull the trigger on a short. So what I would have to see from the euro, and you can see where we, again, are coming into resistance here, but what I would have to see from this market to set up a short would be an internal shift, okay, an internal bearish shift. Now, what I want to show you here on the 15-minute time frame is something that occurred earlier today. And this is what, again, we talked about this in Discord a lot. So those of you in Discord will know that we've been discussing this all morning long. The issue here, though, the challenge here with a candle like this, and by the way, if you do want my help with your trading in Discord every single day, Monday through Friday, including seeing my trades live, getting the full SMC course, VIP only videos, seeing trade ideas, etc., there's a ton of content in there, then check out the link right here on the screen. That's going to give you a free SMC course that will show you exactly how I trade SMC. Beyond that, you will have a chance to join us in Discord if you want. So the one thing that we've talked about in Discord all morning is this right here. So in normal situations, in normal, market conditions, if you were to get a shift like this here at an area of interest, this would be a short setup. But the one reason why this is a little bit tricky is because of this candle back here. And this is how volatility can really kind of mess with market structure, because this shift that you see right here, this high, the close above, and then the close below, again, in normal circumstances, this would be your BOS, your internal BOS. This would be your internal change of character, in which case this would be a short, right? Now, you can see that so far, the euro is once again testing this high. Now, we haven't broken above here to invalidate this. However, the thing you have to be careful of here with this kind of market shift, even if it's internal, is this candle. And the reason for that is because if you'll notice, this high right up here is essentially what we closed above, okay? So this high up here, we have this low down here. Now, what you'll notice is that within this volatility, everything here internally, okay, this shift that we just looked at, this BOS here above the high and the close below the low, all of this right here is internal to this candle. So this is a little bit more indecisive and less convincing in a sense, because you don't have that clear structure where the market kind of churned higher, giving you those clear, obvious higher highs and higher lows, and then gave you that shift, right? If we had this, then that's different. But when you get a candle like this, and then you have all of this internal price action, this is where it really kind of muddies the water and doesn't really give you that clear and obvious internal shift that you're looking for to get short, okay? Or at least that I'm looking for to get short. So this is why, this right here, at least for me, is a little bit less clear. Now, the one thing that could change my opinion on that, though, is if we go to even something like a 5-minute or a 1-minute time frame. Okay, looking at this here, what you can see is that even on this acceptance below this low back here, so even on this acceptance below here, since that time, it's been higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so if we were to get the euro coming back here and taking out some of these lows down here, then that could potentially start to look more like a top. Again, with the context of this 4-hour time frame coming into the top of this channel, also still being below this external high. Okay, but I am in no rush to get into these markets given the market conditions that we're in right now, and so I'm just taking my time with this. If we were to get the setup, then I will be sure to share that with Discord members in real time, as I always do. I share all my trades in there, entry, stop loss, and targets. So we could still get it, guys. I'm not saying that we're not going to get it, but again, with this volatility here today, you've got to be a little bit more careful with this right here, internal BOS, internal change of character, just because, again, this candle back here, essentially, all of this down here is internal to that candle, okay? So you can see we're coming off of the highs a little bit here. Again, if we were to start breaking below some of these lows and giving us that acceptance below here, then we could have a top in place, at least temporarily here for the euro. But you've got to keep in mind of that internal price action. Plus, again, we do still have that imbalance back here for the euro above this high. Okay, so this could still be in play here for the euro over the coming days. Now, it's a similar situation too for the DXY, where it's essentially the inverse of the euro, right? And you can see where the market so far is holding above the bottom of this channel. Okay, so this has been since late January, and we talked about this over the weekend in the SMC outlook. So right now, really, really well-defined channel here, and you can see where so far the market is holding on to this support level. So for me, guys, this is kind of the last stand for dollar bulls. In other words, if we were to see it start to take out these lows with conviction here today at this level, then I think that at this point, because we have pretty much mitigated the imbalances back here on this displacement, if we were to start taking out these lows back here and closing below these, then in my opinion, we're probably headed toward this area down here to mitigate this imbalance, okay? At which point we would have a change of character for the DXY. But like I said over the weekend, you've got to be careful using a low like this right here to identify a top in a market, a major top in a market, simply because if you'll notice from these lows down here up here to the high, this retracement, okay, this low right here was very shallow with regard to this price leg. So from this high down here to the lows, this right here was basically the 50%. We never even made it down here into discount, much less, mitigating this imbalance. So the point here is that if you were going to use acceptance below here to confirm a major top for this market, this could just be a case where if we get the DXY coming down here, again, it's still a big if, we don't know that, but if we were to get the DXY coming down here in this area, it could just be a matter of mitigating this imbalance, and then we see the market pop back above here and continue on this rally, okay? So just be careful, again, using a low like this, a very shallow retrace like this, to mark out a change of character and assume that the top is in for a market. Okay, now like the DXY, or like the euro, I should say, when we look at something like a 5-minute time frame, right? So you can see that right here, we technically had acceptance above this high back here. Now, under normal conditions, what we would do is we would say, okay, this is clearly a change of character, right? Internal change of character. So an I change of character. Now, this over here was the BOS. Okay, so internal BOS over here. So I BOS. Now, again, you've got this candle back here, though, to where this low right here really kind of muddies the waters, because again, this up here now is really your protected high, okay, with really this being internal to this candle, okay, this volatility that we saw this morning. So it's a little bit less clear. Now, again, like the euro though, if we were to see the DXY start to on even like the 1-minute time frame, like if you come in here and you see highs like this up here starting to get taken out on this move that we're seeing right now, if we were to start taking out some of these highs up here during this downtrend, then that could be potentially the start of a bottom for the US dollar. But keep in mind too, guys, it could be temporary, because right now we have this imbalance back here for the DXY following that move lower. So even if we get a bottom forming here, guys, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the bottom for the US dollar. It could just be a matter of the market coming up here to mitigate some of these imbalances through here following this drop. Okay, so still a lot of uncertainty in these markets, for obvious reasons. I mean, if you've been following the headlines, I don't trade fundamentals, but if you've been following the headlines in any way, shape, or form, you know what's going on out there and why these markets are so back and forth. But really, I think the bottom line for the DXY, though, given this channel, given this run up that we saw back here, really, in my opinion, these lows that we're seeing here today on Monday, this is really going to be it for the DXY bulls. I mean, if we see the market give us acceptance below here, then in my opinion, we're headed down there toward that 98 area to mitigate that imbalance. Okay, so keeping a close eye on things here with the euro, guys. Like I said, if I do short this market, then I will be sure to announce something in Discord with my entry, stop loss, and take profit, and also, provide updates along the way. So we still have that potential for a possible swing high here for the euro, but I need to see more from this market to give me that conviction that I need to open up a short position. If we don't get it, then again, I'm looking for this imbalance back here in this region right around 117.50. So that's it for today's video. Keep it locked in here. Subscribe to the channel. Also check out the link right here for that free SMC course that shows you exactly how I trade SMC full time. Until next time, trade well. I will talk to you again tomorrow.